Aitor. The job at the American base was a great help, along with the one Carlos got, which allowed us to buy our new apartment. My salary as a cashier in the commissary, paid by the United States, was significantly better than the salaries paid at the time in Spain. This gave us economic flexibility and access to request a loan, along with a guarantee to acquire the new house in a complex of newly built flats in New Utebo, the town I mentioned in a previous chapter near Zaragoza. My parents offered to endorse us, as my father and I had returned to a more or less civilized relationship after he was very ill and hospitalized for a few months due to contracting tuberculosis. The signing of the loan was made not without having a displeasure with him beforehand, which shook our hopes. But after my then husband put him in his place when he tried to assault me in public, everything went back into place and we got the money needed to buy our home. We fell in love with that apartment. It was new, well distributed, in a quiet place, but not at all isolated. We bought new furniture and lived very happily there for several years. My work at the base lasted about a year and a half. I had to ride 2 buses to get there, but I didn't care. Sometimes, if Carlos had a day off, he would take me in the car. Other times, my partner, Mayra, who also lived in Utebo, would bring me home in the afternoons in her car. The end of 1985, specifically in December, would be the beginning of a radical change in my life, in our lives. Our first child was conceived, and the pregnancy was confirmed in January 1986. And this pregnancy will not be a spoil like the previous one. We were extremely happy. For me, it was a whole new experience to live. As for all new mothers, learning to assimilate the changes in your body, thinking about what that child on the way is going to be like, facing the fear of the unknown until then, childbirth, parenting, knowing if you are going to be a good mother or knowing how to do it. Thank God, my mother, my aunts, and the fact that I had read books and magazines dedicated to the subject and everything related to it for years were a great help when it came to facing everything that was coming. But honestly, nothing prepares you for an experience like motherhood, from its earliest moments to even when your children are adults, because it is a story that once it begins, never ends, no matter how many years pass. The pregnancy didn't stop me from working, literally, almost until the end of it. I remember with a special acuity one summer afternoon, returning from work. A storm was brewing over Zaragoza and its surroundings just after my work day, and that day I was returning home by bus. My pregnancy was already well advanced. Halfway to my house, on the bus, we saw how the sky began to discharge incredible amounts of water, as well as lightning and thunder. The stop where I had to get off was almost in front of my urbanization, but from the bus at the entrance, there was an unpaved piece, only dirt, with many slopes. It was raining so torrentially that the whole area was almost flooded, and I had to cross it no matter what to get to my house. So I had no choice. Without an umbrella or anything to protect me, I got soaked in a matter of seconds, lost one of my shoes in the mud, and arrived home as if I had jumped into a swimming pool, clothed. The shoe never appeared. My job came to an end in August 1986, just a month before my son was born. In addition to the fact that my contract ended, the fact that I was about to give birth was decisive in ending that work. I felt very sad to have to leave all that and those people with whom I forged a beautiful friendship and camaraderie. After 2 or 3 weeks resting in Alicante and in Riopar, Albacete, which is the town where my sister-in-law, Sacra, was born and lived, we returned to Utebo to wait for the birth of our beloved son and firstborn, whom we will name Aitor. Aitor arrived on September 28, 1986 at 8:25 p.m. after a long and painful birth. It took almost 2 days. We could never find out if it was going to be a boy or a girl until the day he entered this world. I prefer to spare all of you who read or listen to me the hardships and pains I endured to help my son be born, because nothing I went through will ever blur the happiness and love that arose in me when I first looked at my child. That little piece of Carlos and me that had just come out of my womb. There was a mixture of awe, disbelief, excitement, and overflowing happiness, and in his little eyes, a wisdom and familiarity that cannot be explained. And so, 3 days later, we took home our little one, who will bring many moments of happiness and pride to our lives and those of all our families.